our position on the draft recommendation. I thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I call on Civil Center for Peace, Justice and Development, CCPJD, Indonesia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The full version will be sent to the Secretariat and put as a official record of this forum. In Indonesia, diversity, tolerance, and harmony are facts of life. Housing for more than 250 million people with more than 1,000 sub-ethnic groups and over 700 ethnic languages and numerous religions and beliefs, Indonesians have and will continue to forge tolerance and mutual respect. Thus, the notion of minority faces its own complexities and challenges if applied in our national context. Now, let me turn to issue raised by some in this forum relating to the situation in some parts of our country. We strongly object human rights issues are politicized for certain purposes contrary to UN principles. We reject all information presented by one of the presenters in the agenda item 3 yesterday, which was inaccurate, politically motivated, misleading, and out of context. It does not help at all on theme discussed. It shows no respect to the spirit of constructive dialogue, which is the basis of this forum, and it displays the hidden agenda to use the forum for political purposes. This information, I'm afraid, also represents the inadequate quality of its messenger that lacks of information and comprehensive understanding on the current state in Indonesia. Indonesia's territorial integrity, including over the provinces of Papua and West Papua, is unquestionable and irrevocable, and is an issue outside human rights. Provinces of Papua and West Papua receive not only equal attention but moreover extra attention. Through special autonomy law, local governments in those provinces control most of government affairs in their own hands. Access and visit to Papua and West Papua provinces are widely open according to prevailing rules and regulation apply to all parts of Indonesia. On one case mentioned, the person was recently released based on the remission that he is entitled to. He was convicted not because of his expression, but he was found guilty of violating crimes against public order, which is legitimate under ICCPR. Peaceful protest is guaranteed in our constitution for all parts of Indonesia. We are well aware of the challenges, including the capacity and development. The government pays special attention to expedite the enhancement of human resource and institutional capacity and development. We also continue to confront culture of denial. Complaints have been quickly responded and any violation of the law is immediately prosecuted. Community policing has been implemented. Large part of police force in the provinces of Papua and West Papua are locals, including the provincial police chief. The above element of combating impunity also serve to respond to statement on the conduct on police in the Indonesian province of Aceh. It is also well known that our Corruption Eradication Commission has been working independently and tirelessly to combat corruption. Those statements, in our view, lacks of up-to-date and comprehensive understanding on the situation on the ground. To put in the context, Indonesia is a democratic country, has put strong infrastructure to promote and protect human rights. Bottom-up initiatives are also encouraged and developed. Strong civil society, media, independent state institution monitoring has been functioning well. At regional and international level, we are actively promoting tolerance and respect. In conclusion, Indonesia will not be distracted. We will continue to progress our human rights agenda based on our sovereignty, territorial integrity, and democracy. We commit to promote constructive dialogue based on mutual respect. Lastly, we reserve our position on the draft recommendation. I thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I call on Civil Center for Peace, Justice and Development, CCPJD.